a gentleman by the name of Marc Gasol, who's been losing in Memphis for quite some time now, and now he is on a championship contending team. He has been moved to the Raptors for Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and a 2024 second-round pick. Jalen Rose, what does swapping out Gasol for Valanciunas do for the Raptors?
A couple of things. One, it gives them another crutch in case Kyle Lowry flames out in the playoffs for initiating offense.
Yes.
At the high post, he's a terrific passer, can make an open shot, is averaging a career high in assists. The other thing it allows them to do is have a former Defensive Player of the Year defend Joel Embiid on the block.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the main things that he's going to be able to bring to the table. And the other thing is experience. The Toronto Raptors, while they've made it to the playoffs the last couple of years, have not been successful as they thought they would be. So now as the 1 seed, 2 seed, whatever they end up, you bring in Kawhi, you bring in Danny Green. Pascal Siakam is playing like a most improved player. Serge has experience. Gasol has experience. You hope that you can now surround your team. Van Vliet is playing really well with enough guys that understand in the playoffs you got to play different styles.
Yep.
He gives them flexibility to do that.
He's definitely a much better passer than Valanciunas. That's without question. Now, another interesting addition, the Bucks added Nikola Mirotic. It was a 3-team deal. It gets a little complicated, but basically the Pistons ended up with Don Maker, and the Pelicans ended up with Stanley Johnson, Jason Smith, and a couple second-round picks. Jalen, what does Mirotic do for the Bucks?
The great thing about having an MVP caliber player is that now I can build a roster to mask his weaknesses.
Yep.
And so one of the things that Giannis doesn't do well is
shoot the ball from distance.
So now you want to have people around them that can. You got Middleton that can make a shot.
Yep.
They brought in Lopez, who can make big-time shots from the center spot. Now you bring in another stretch 4. And also, he's tall. So when you go against the Celtics, you need interchangeable parts like they have. When you go against the Sixers,
we just got much better at
and
the
Raptors, you need interchangeable parts. He allows them to have another guy that can be a knockdown shooter playing alongside Giannis for a team that already is terrific at shooting the 3 overall.
Not just casual fans, but I would say most NBA fans don't even know that the Pacers are in 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. They lost Victor Oladipo for the season, but they're sitting in 3rd place. And there are now rumors, this hasn't been done yet, but it seems like Wesley Matthews, who's no longer going to be on the Knicks, could join the Pacers. Are the Pacers a serious threat to what most of us consider the best 4 teams in the Eastern Conference?
Shout out to Nate McMillan, who's done a terrific job nurturing this team. You lose Victor Oladipo.
Yep.
But yet when LeBron James and the Lakers come to town, you still beat the brakes off of them by 42 points. So that lets you know that they bring effort on a nightly basis. Turner, Sabonis, Collison, not household names, Thad Young, but yet really competitive. And now you're going to get a chance to appreciate Bogdanovich because he's going to get more shots.
Great game.
And he's going to be able to put up big numbers.
He put up big
now
numbers.
You bring in Wesley Matthews. You give him a level of confidence saying, hey, I can get some of Victor Oladipo's minutes. I can get some of his shots. I'm a defender as well. It doesn't put them in the Final 4 of the playoffs in the East, but it solidifies that the Pacers are going to not only be a playoff team, but when you look 5 and below, it's a lot of people outplaying their expectations. We can kind of anticipate who the Final 4 in the playoffs are going to be, but this does help Indiana.
Well, you mentioned it. The Sixers obviously added Tobias Harris. The Celtics stayed pat. Wesley Matthews on the Pacers, Mirotic on the Bucks, and of course Gasol on the Raptors. How does this change your thoughts about the Eastern Conference? Who do you think will come out of the Eastern Conference to lose to the Warriors?
Shout to Elton Brand, who, first and foremost, usually when you don't draft a player high, you don't have to worry about him being a bust on your watch.
Yep.
So he was able to trade Markelle Fultz because he didn't pick him. Now, this year you started with Embiid and Simmons. You add Butler, and now you add Tobias Harris, and another underrated pickup, Jonathan Simmons.
Yeah.
He's going to give them versatility. He's going to give them toughness. They're going to have multiple players that can switch defensively.
He had some big playoff games for the Spurs.
And so now each team improved itself at where they were weak. Tobias Harris, I'm glad he's going to get a chance to play on this stage because people are going to see how good he is. And for 20-point scores, he have the lowest usage in the league.
Who is your favorite in the East to lose to the Warriors in the NBA Finals?
Right now, you have to say Philly.
I think so too. I think after the moves they made, I wouldn't have said that 2 weeks ago, but now I would say Philly.
I said this all season. The playoff intrigue in the league is who's going to face the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals? Who's going to watch the Eastern Conference Finals?
There'll be some disappointed teams in the East.
Gonna be
there are 4
fascinating
teams
to
that
see.
all expect to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and only 2 of them can make it.